Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Wesley.
Today is November 24th, and we're on page 67 in your magazines. Today we have kind of unusual text for our new TOEIC feature.
好，今天我们有一个新多益的练习。
And the text that they come up with for some of these TOEIC exercises surprised me and impressed me often. And this one impressed me today. You'll find out later why. Let's look first at our instructions that are pretty much the same from time to time, but we still need to go through them. Part 7, Reading Comprehension, Directions. In this part, you will read a selection of texts such as magazine and newspaper articles, letters, and advertisements. Each text is followed by several questions. Select the best answer for each question and mark the letter A, B, C, or D on your answer sheet. Questions 1 through 3 refer to the following webpage and email.
所以在这一部分呢，你会读到 a selection of texts 就一些选文 a selection of texts 例如怎么样杂志或者报纸上面的 articles 文章或者是 letters 可能是信件或者是广告。那每一个文本呢，每一个 text is followed by 后面都跟着几个问题several questions 那你要选 the best answer找最好的答案 for each question 我们每次都强调它是叫你找最好的答案，不是叫你找出所有可能的答案它叫你找最好的答案。然后呢 mark the letter 接下来你把那个标示一下，看是哪一个 A, B, C 还是 D 哪一个选项，把它标示在你的 answer sheet 你的答案纸上面。
We are on a web page now, and the URL is https://www.midlandsmusic.com
这是它的网址 Yeah.
All right, we're going to go through it line by line so you understand everything as we go along. And you need to be ready that there are 2 texts for today. After we finish reading this webpage to you, we are going to read a letter from somebody who wants to use the service of this company that has a webpage, or the webpage on the internet that we're going to read to you.
好，我们今天呢有2个文本一个是某个公司的广告，那接下来会有一封信，这个信是想要使用这个公司服务的人所写的一封信。
All right, Midlands Music.
好，那这个大概就是一个名称它的公司的名称。
Now, this sounds sort of like Britain. I don't know. I can't tell. But if it's the UK, they often have UK in the URL. Otherwise, instead of COM, they use CO.
好，那如果是英国公司的话呢，在它的网址后面呢，可能就是会有出现 UK 再不然就是用 CO 那也是英国的网站。
Right, instead of COM. So COM is used mostly for American companies and then CO for British ones. So the name of the company is Midlands Music, Instrument Repairs and Restoration.
好，那 Instrument repairs 就是乐器的修复 Instrument 是乐器 Repairs 是修理维修。那还有呢 Restoration 是修复的意思，就是 Restore 把它恢复到原来的状态。
Returning the finest instruments to their finest condition.
好，那这个地方呢，这个 returning 是个分词或者是你可以说是个动名词都可以，但重点是它是 return to 这个片语变出来的。Return A to B 就是把 A 让 A 回到 B 那个状态或那个地点那这里这个 A 是什么呢？它要把什么东西回复呢？把这个 the finest instruments 最精致的乐器它要使这些最精致的乐器能够回复到怎么样？回复到他们的 finest condition 他们最佳的状态。那在这个地方各位可以听到那个很明显的音响效果The finest, returning the finest instruments to their finest condition. 你一直听到2个 finest 好，这个是故意的，就让押韵然后加强这个字的效果，所以是最好的乐器让他们达到最好的效果。
And not just that, the word after finest in both cases is 3 syllables.
而且呢这个在 finest 后面那个字呢又是3个音节finest instruments to their finest condition 所以这个音响效果更对称。
Even though the stress pattern is different, instruments, condition. The stress is on a different syllable, but both are 3 syllables. And again, their URL is midlandsmusic.com. And here is our text. The technicians and master craftsmen at Midlands Music Instrument Repairs and Restoration have the experience and expertise necessary to return your precious musical instrument back to its former glory.
好 ，the technicians 就是技师，好，有技术的这专业人员，还有呢 ，master craftsmen 就是大师级的工匠，好 ，master 在这里好当形容词的用法，它就是大师级的啊，所以这不只是 craftsman， 不是工匠而已，是大师级的工匠啊。我们的技师还有大师级的工匠 ，at 就指他们工作的地点啊，是在我们这里这个地方，全名啊就是这个这个 Midlands 乐器维修与修复中心啊，所以我们这个中心维修与修复中心的这些技师跟大师级的工匠们怎么样呢 ？Have 他们具有 the experience and expertise， 他们具有这样的经验，还有这样的专业哈 ，expertise 就是专业的能力或专业的技术。然后呢 ，necessary 前面省略 that are 啊，他们就是所需要的专业的能力，还有他们的经验啊，需要干嘛呢 ？necessary that are necessary to， 如果你要做这件事情所需要的能力，我们都有。做什么事呢？To return your precious， 你的很珍贵的 musical instrument 就是乐器，让他们回到啊 return 这些最棒的或者是你很宝贵的这些 musical instruments， 让他们回到 return 啊他们 back to 啊回到他们的 former glory 啊 former 是以前的之前的。所以 former glory 就是昔日的光荣或者光彩，好，所以让你的乐器能够回到昔日的光荣或光彩所需要的这些专业能力或者是经验呢，我们这里的技师，我们的大师级的工匠都有。
In the first sentence, you have to watch out for 断句. You have to look at the phrasing because the name of the company is Midlands Music. And if you don't separate it in the right way, it becomes music instrument. And we don't say that. We say musical instrument. So at Midlands Music, instrument repairs and restoration is the way we should divide it. Now, I'm not sure that I phrased it correctly when I read it, but that's how it should be. Midlands Music, instrument repairs and restoration. Because they didn't put any punctuation in there, it's not as clear. But if you look at the header at the top, they have a separate line for these two. Midlands Music, instrument repairs and restoration.
哦，对，这个地方要注意啊，这个公司的名字叫做 Midlands Music， 那后面公司做什么啊？他们是 Instrument Repairs and Restoration 啊，要注意，因为如果是乐器的话，不会是 music instrument 啊，应该是 musical instrument 才是乐器的意思。
All right, and the next slide, we specialize in piano restorations and tuning.
好 ，we specialize in 就是我们专门怎样啊。那但是它后面这个接的是名词哈，所以你也可以说我们的专业是什么啊？我们的专业，我们专门干嘛呢？啊，这个做钢琴的 restorations， 钢琴的修复，还有 tuning 啊，钢琴的调音啊，调音当然是个专门的技术哈，尤其越贵的钢琴，好像调音的这个价钱又越不一样。
Oh, that could
yeah.
be.
Mm-hmm.
It could be,
yeah.
Yes. We've done it fairly regularly at home, and I'm always impressed how they do it. Some people do it with a tuner. Some don't use a tuner much at all. They use their ear.
有的人有绝对音感哈，他就不需要这个用什么调音器什么帮他哈，或者是他直接听就知道这要怎么样调。
And the higher you go, the less it follows the tuner. You have to make some adjustments for the high note, so it's not as straightforward as you might think.
哦，所以那个音阶越高，它可能越需要一些专门的技术，光靠那个调音器越是没有用的。
The second item is brass instrument servicing.
好，那第二个他们做的什么呀？是 brass instrument， 就是铜管乐器 servicing。它大概包括了维修啊、保养啊等等的哈，因为像这个汽车维修，你可以说啊，我这个 I'm going to take my car in for service， 好，那就是去维修保养的意思。Yeah.
And the third one is violin and stringed instrument adjustment.
Violin 就是小提琴，好，那 stringed instrument 就是弦乐器，好 ，string 就是那个弦，好，这个弦乐器那个弦，那这些东西的 adjustment 就是校准。
Okay, so actually they cover a lot. You need very different experts or very different expertise to do all of these things. They're very different.
那所以其实他们的业务范围还蛮广，表示他们有各种各样的专家。因为这个钢琴维修、钢琴调音啊，跟这个铜管乐器啊，还有这个弦乐器啊，这个其实都是不同的专业。
We use the latest technology available, including computer-controlled precision lathes and drills, and the most precise measuring and calibration tools available anywhere in the world. Now, here are some technical terms, but they are fairly common and worth learning.
好，所以呢，我们用 the latest 就是最新的啊，最新的 technology， 最新的科技 available 就是可以提供的现有的。所以当你讲到 the latest technology available 就是现有的最新的科技啊，我们使用现有的最新科技啊，包括什么东西呢？ Computer controlled 就是电脑控制的， Precision 就是精密啊，那 lathe 就是车床，所以精密车床它可以车很精密的东西啊。
But I have to ask you all, do you know what a 车床 is? The reason I ask is because I've asked my students in the past and many of them have no idea.
所以车床其实它很重要，是有一个会旋转的一个东西啊，一个旋转的轴，所以你把东西绑在这个卡，或者是固定在那个轴上面啊。那另外它有一个旋转的轴，那另外有一把刀，车刀啊，那你那个车刀就可以接近那旋转的那个轴，你就可以车出啊一些这个圆圈状的东西啊，车出沟痕啊等等的。
会很均匀 because if you do it all by hand, it might be bigger on one side and smaller on the other. So a lathe helps you produce something that is very, very even.
因为它是有一个轴心在旋转，所以靠圆轴的原理，它可以车出很漂亮、很精密的东西。好，以前我其实玩过车床。
Yeah, because you used to study that stuff.
Yeah, 以前我学过这个车床这种东西啊，蛮好玩的，但是我技术很差啊。这同样的东西车出来，这个跟老师车出来就是差很多。
That's right. But the point is, when you run into something like this, just knowing the Chinese translation may not mean that you understand it because maybe you don't know the Chinese.
Yeah, 所以有的时候其实是这个东西中文你也不知道什么东西啊，所以你应该再进一步去看看图啊，去查一查，这样你知道的东西会越来越多啊。那这里有一些精密车床，就是用来车一些很精密的东西的，还有 drills 就是砖头啊，所以都是由电脑控制的啊。这个精密车床、精密的砖头，还有呢 the most precise 就是最精确的啊 ，measuring 就是测量啊，还有呢 calibration 是校准呀，尤其是指那个机器的测量仪器的校准的工具，所以我们有精确的测量跟校准的工具。那一样 available 是用来修饰，表示现有可以提供的，所以我们也有怎么样现有的你找得到的最精确的测量跟校准工具啊，而且是 available 怎么样 anywhere in the world 全世界你能找到的，就是全世界最精确的测量校准工具啊，我们用的就是这个东西啊，我们用的就是全世界找得到的最精确的测量跟校准的工具。
Whether you are a professional musician performing regularly for any one of the world's famous orchestras or a talented amateur looking to take your instrument and music to the next level, contact William Parks to arrange a free evaluation.
好，这个 whether 这个子句很长哈，无论你怎么样，你是个 professional 专业的职业的 musician， 你是个职业的音乐家啊，然后后面修饰一下什么样职业音乐家呢？ Performing regularly 就是固定表演啊，然后为谁表演呢？ Performing regularly for 啊，为 any one of the world's famous orchestras 好，是任何一个全世界知名的管弦乐团好，所以无论你是为世界上哪一个知名的管弦乐团固定表演的职业的音乐家啊，这是第一个，或者你是一个 talented 是有才华的 amateur 业余的音乐家，换句话说，你不是职业音乐家，但是你很有才华，你说不定这技术搞不好比一些职业的还厉害啊，所以你是
I guess it's not for me because I'm an amateur.
Oh, yeah.
Just not talented.
Yeah. 啊，所以呢，这个所以不管怎么样，你是个有才 talented 这个是用的很好玩，就是你可能还不是 not very good, but you're talented.
They're flattering you.
Yeah, 其实他就是要这个让你觉得不错哈，你可能很多人就自己对号入座，我是个 talented 啊 虽然很有才华，但是因为我没念过，我没有去上过音乐学院，所以没办法，我就是这样子而已。但是我很有才华。
I think we all want some kind of validation.
Yeah， 其实每一个尤其玩音乐的人都希望有某一种这个能够让自己这个高兴一点，
肯定自己的能力，
肯定自己的。不然，因为像我弹吉他，有时候在网络上看到那些弹吉他的人，我觉得超级厉害。
Yeah.
我就想他们怎么会那么厉害？
Yeah.
那有一段时间觉得，哎呀，我永远练不到那个程度。可是后来想想，我管他们那么厉害，很好啊。
I'll just do what I do.
对啊，我就做我能做的就好了。Yeah. 所以至少我也可以称我是个 talented amateur。所以 anyway 就是你是个业余的演奏那个音乐家，然后 looking to 你想要就期待要能够 take your instrument and music， 把你的乐器还有把你的音乐能够 take them to the next level， 就是让他们更上一层楼。
Right, and remember that because you use that so much in Chinese, this is how you say it in English.
Yeah, 所以更上一层楼，英文就可以说 take something to the next level。 所以你要提升自己的乐器或者自己的音乐。所以这两个要么你就是专业职业的音乐家，或者是你是业余的，可是想要更进一步的话，不管怎么样，这两种人都可以可以 contact 联络William Parks 来 arrange 安排一个 free 免费的 evaluation 就是评估一下，看你这个乐器如果要修的话多少钱。
And here's a slogan: No job too big, no job too small.
所以我们没有太大不做的，也没有太小不做的，就是我们大小都做。Yeah.
And the email address is evaluation@midlandsmusic.com.
这是他们 email 的地址。
And please note, all work requires a 10% deposit because people may bring something to you and then decide they don't want it after all, and then they'll lose a lot of money. So you have to pay 10% to make sure you're committed to having this done.
好，所以 please note 请注意all work 就是我们所有的工作，也就是所有的服务 requires 需要一个 10% 的 deposit 定金。
Free pickup and delivery for jobs over US $10,000.
Jobs 是工作也就是维修所以这个如果说你的维修的费用超过美金1万元的话，那我们可以提供 free pickup 就是免费取货通常是免费到府取货，还有呢 delivery 我们交货都免费如果你你的这个案子呢，你的维修费用是超过美金1万的话。
Completed work not paid for after 90 days will be disposed of at auction. That's a warning.
Yeah, completed work 就是完成的物件也就是修复后的乐器。Not paid for 前面省略 which is not paid for 就是没有付钱或者没有付清没有付清的这些修复后的乐器而且是 after 90 days 90天之后，如果你还不来付钱的话，那这些完成的修好的乐器 will be disposed of 将会被处理To be disposed of 就是被处理，在哪里被处理呢？ At auction 在拍卖会上处理。
Wow. Okay. Here's somebody who wants some work done. They're writing an email to this company. It is from Benjamin Rothschild to evaluation@midlandsmusic.com. The subject is piano restoration.
这很重要 email 的 subject 要写清楚，所以我要修钢琴 Yeah.
And that's really, really true. Make sure that you use a good, clear subject in all your emails. Date August 1st. Hello, Mr. Parks. I own a piano that I would like to have restored.
好，我有一架钢琴，那这个钢琴 that I would like to 我想要 have 就是 have the piano restored 我想要把这辆钢琴能够修复。
To have restored 是让你来修复我的钢琴。To have restored, that means you're not going to do it. You're going to ask somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
It is one of the very first Steinway & Sons pianos manufactured and dates back to the mid-1800s. Wow, that's a very valuable piano. Because Steinway is the most famous grand piano there is.
这个史坦威钢琴是非常有名的钢琴通常都很贵很贵都上百万的所以呢他说而且这是怎么样，是这一家公司Steinway & Sons 最早所制造的 manufactured 的钢琴之一所以这个真的价值连城。那 dates back to 就是可以追溯到怎么样，到19世纪中，哇，真的是古董钢琴。
That's right. It has been in my family for over a century.
这个钢琴在我们家呢已经超过100年了所以在他们家也是传家之宝了，而且这钢琴的这个年纪已经超过100岁了。
I would like a quote to have the piano fully restored.
好，所以我希望要有一个 quote 的报价啊，我要让这个钢琴呢 fully restored 完整的修复。
This restoration will involve the piano's internal mechanics as well as the piano's wood, which has several deep scratches.
好 ，involve 就是牵涉到，那在这里其实可以翻译成包括哈，所以这一次的这个修复哈 restoration 将会包括这个钢琴的 internal 就是内部的 mechanics 就是一些机械的工件啊，机械的部件啊，所以这个内部的一些机械的东西啊要维修 ，as well as 也同时还包括了这个钢琴的 wood 啊，钢琴的木头部分啊，那这个木头部分呢 ，which 就是指这个木头部分 has several 有几个地方呢有 deep scratches 有蛮深的刮痕，哇，那这个木头这整个钢琴都是古董嘛，所以木头上有刮痕，能修的话最好修一下。
The piano stool will also need restoring.
好，那 stool 就是椅子，所以钢琴椅通常是跟钢琴同一套的嘛，那也需要 restoring 也需要一些修复的这个工作啊，所以呢，钢琴椅大概也有一些地方有损坏掉了，要修一下。
Right, 凳子
yeah.
Remarkably, all of the piano's ivory keys are still in perfect condition.
我觉得蛮好玩的，自己写 remarkably.
Well, that's surprising and after so many years.
Yeah, 因为这个的确是让人觉得很惊奇的事，令人称奇的事哈。Remarkably， 那这个钢琴所有的 ivory 就是象牙的 keys 就是琴键啊，所以这个古董钢琴上面的琴键是真的象牙的哈，所以这个钢琴所有的象牙琴键呢 are still 仍然是 in perfect condition. To be in perfect condition 就是状况是完美的，也就是状况绝佳。好，所以令人称奇的是，这个钢琴这么久了，可是它所有的钢琴琴键状况都非常的好。
As I would probably qualify for free pickup and delivery, could you also tell me which transport company you use?
好 as 是因为I would 我可能会，这也是虚拟语气，我可能可以合格 qualify for 有资格可以获得免费的运送服务。
大概会
大概中文可以翻成大概会哈。那你可不可以告诉我你是用哪一家货运公司呢？也就是你跟哪一家货运公司合作呢？好，可能他之前有一些不愉快的经验哈，所以如果要用他不喜欢的货运公司，他可能要求换公司或者怎么样。
I look forward to hearing from you soon.
这句常常看到，我很期待很快听到你的回音。
And you can use this in your letters a lot. Regards, Benjamin Rothschild. Let's go to our questions. 1. What is not suggested about Midland's music?
好，关于这家公司呢，哪一个没有被提到呢？
A. It employs a team of experts.
好，他聘雇一组专业团队。
That's true, so it's not our answer. B. It caters to all musicians.
他服务所有的音乐家。
Also true, so that's not our answer. C. It carries different instruments for sale.
好 carry 就是有这样的货，他做这样的事情，所以他出售不同的乐器吗？
It doesn't say anything about having instruments for sale, so C is our answer. D. It provides numerous services.
他提供很多服务。
Also true, so wrong. 2. What is implied about Steinway & Sons?
关于这个史坦威公司呢，本文暗示了什么？
A. The business is no longer trading.
就这公司不再营业了。
No. B. The company was established over a century ago.
该公司已经成立1个多世纪了。
And that's true, that's our answer. C. Its pianos are of poor quality.
它钢琴的品质很差，不会100多年还在用。
Wrong. D. Its owner likes to play piano.
这老板很喜欢弹钢琴，也许但是没有弹到。
Doesn't mention it. Number 3. What will not be required to restore Mr. Rothschild's piano?
他的钢琴要修是不需要，有什么东西是不需要修的？
A. Polishing the wood.
抛光木头。
It does need that. B. Repairing a mechanical fault.
维修机械的故障。
It also needs that. C. Restoring the piano stool.
修复钢琴椅。
It needs that too, so the answer has to be D, and it is D. Fixing several piano keys.
维修某一些钢琴键，这是正确答案。
Yeah, the writer says they're in perfect condition. You don't need to do that. That is it for today. Tune in next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.